Miss Stacy here. Today we're going to do a landscape drawing, and we're going to do it in kind of the style of Vincent van Gogh. We're going to use a whole bunch of lines. So we're going to use straight lines, we're going to use vertical lines, we're going to use curvy lines, thick lines, thin lines. We're just going to have a lot of fun. And then we're going to play with some colors too, just to have some fun. I hope you guys will enjoy this. Okay, to make our landscape drawings, we need a photograph of a landscape, or maybe you could go outside, a pencil, eraser, and some magic markers. Let's get started. Okay, we're not going to try to make our drawing look exactly like this photograph. We're just going to use it kind of as a reference point. And what you're going to do is you're just going to draw the outlines of the things that you think are important in that photograph or that you like. You could draw softly. I kind of drew fairly softly. I'm not going to be erasing these lines. I'm going to be going over them. But just in case you want to erase something you don't like, sometimes it's cool to draw light till you get it right. So go ahead and draw your landscape drawing, either from outdoors or a photograph. And remember, it doesn't have to look just like the photograph. You make it look the way you might want to add stuff to it or take stuff out. So let's go. Okay, once you finish drawing the contour lines or the outlines of your drawing, you're going to take a magic marker and you're going to start finding the areas that you want to fill in. And they don't have to be realistic colors. Van Gogh didn't always use realistic colors. Instead of coloring the picture in, what we're going to do is we're going to make little lines. So I started with the front of this house, and you see I'm using lines like little vertical lines. What you want to do is you want to use the type of line that kind of goes with or matches the lines of the outline. So since my building was straight lines, I'm filling it in with little straight lines. And if I want to make it darker, I put my lines closer together. If I want to make it lighter, I leave my lines farther apart. So choose a place on yours, outline it first, and then start filling it in with lines that are going in the same direction as the outline. Notice I changed the direction of my brown lines. They're going diagonally because the roof is diagonal. In my rocks, I use curvy lines to match the rocks. In my tree trunks, I use vertical lines to match the trees. In these green leaves on the trees, I'll use curvy lines to match the tree bushes, the tree leaves. I want the background to be darker so that the trees stand out from it. So I'm mixing some blue with my green to make it appear dark in the background, like a dark forest. If you think about green, green has blue and yellow in it. So where I want it to be darker, I add blue. Where I want the green to be lighter, I add yellow. Watch as I do that on this tree. I think this is like a weeping willow. I add yellow to the front of it to make it brighter and appear closer, and blue to the back of it to make it appear farther away. And I use wavy lines in my water to make it look like it's moving. On the trees up front, I put my lines farther apart so it'll look closer. In the grass, I'm using diagonal lines, making them closer together as they get farther away, farther apart as they get closer. I'm adding yellow to the front of it to make it appear brighter and closer, and I'll add some blues to the back to make it appear farther away. I will add a little yellow to the trees in the back just for some highlights. As I finish up, I'm just adding blues and yellows to make things stand out, to add shading. And I'm going to finish off by putting me some Van Gogh swirls in the sky like he did on the Starry Night to make it look like the wind is blowing. And then I'm just going to add a few vertical lines in here. So here I have my finished Vincent van Gogh landscape. It doesn't look anything like the photograph I started with, does it? That's because I wasn't trying to copy the photograph. I was just using it for reference or inspiration. So you find you a photograph of a landscape or head on outside and do your own Van Gogh drawing of a landscape. And you could play with it however you want with the colors. It doesn't have to be realistic. Just have some fun and enjoy using lines in a bold, bright new way. I can't wait to see your Van Gogh landscapes.